name is Mustafa Sise, and tonight we are going to witness a class of intellectual titans as the team from Haryana goes head to head with the team from Maharashtra, or so I call them our Maharathis. The motion before this house is one that strikes in the very heart of our modern education. As it states, this house believes that educational institutions should implement strict measures to prevent the use of artificial intelligence, called AI, by students. So, in an era where AI tools are becoming increasingly accessible, this debate forces us to confront critical questions about academic integrity, the nature of learning, and how we prepare students for a future intertwined with technology. So, before going any further, we can pray in our various ways. So, let's take one minute and pray in our various ways before we commence. Alright, Amin Ya Rabbi Almanna Dual Mutala. So the first on our agenda, we would like to invite Mr. Modu Luis from the Presidential Department of the Association of Government Students in India to give the opening remarks. Mr. Luis, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Am I quite audible? And am I
Yes,
visible too?
yes, you are.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Madam, Mr. Moderator, once again. Assalamu alaikum to everyone that is present here today to witness another, battle of thought. Yeah, so this is the quarterfinal of the debate, and uh, just representing the executive, I would just want to extend, our gratitude to our partners, that is the UTGDA, you know, because of them, this initiate, we planned, it's happening and it's going on successfully. So, want to thank all of them and all the participants too for participating, because without them too, we will not have gathered here tonight to, to witness, the battle of ideas and all of those stuff. Yeah, so I'll cut it short today, because to be honest, this topic today I'll be very biased, because someone studying computer engineering, this topic I don't really like it at all, because it's coming against me. But yeah, so thank you very much. We are waiting, Mr. President. I am very right. We are waiting to see, how the opposition bench is gonna defend us, because defending AI mean defending all of the students. So you know we are waiting for that. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Luis, for that wonderful remarks. So, on our education text today, we will be having Miss Fatboy and Mr. Lamenba. So, but it's like, okay, Miss Fatboy is in. So, we would like to hear from our education text, either Laminba or Miss Moj. Mr. Laminba or Miss Moj, if you are here with us, we would love to hear from the education text, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing good. Apologies, because I'm in a tight situation right now. So yeah, I want to confirm whether we have all debaters around. Mustafa, please confirm whether we have all debaters around.
Yes, they are around. They are around. Yeah, they are around.
All right. So welcome everyone once again to the quarterfinals of the Government Online Debate Championship. So I'll be speaker for today. On my way, I might be disconnected and the other adjudicators might join. But for now, until we have the rest of them around, I will be the speaker. So give me a minute. Let me reread the motion that we have to debate on today. So today the debate is between Hainara and Madrastra, right? And the motion before this honorable house is that this house believes that educational institutions should implement strict measures to prevent the use of artificial intelligence, that is AI, by students. So we will have Hainara as the proposition and Madrastra, sorry for my pronunciation once again, as the opposition. So if the house is set, we are ready to hear from the Prime Minister of the House.
Honorable Speaker, respected judges, it is a privilege to open this debate as the proposition. As the Prime Minister of this House, allow me to give a structure of my debate. I will start by tabling the motion for this House, define all the key terms in the debate, give a perimeter of my debate, give my own irrefutable points, accept POI in the fifth minute of my debate, anticipate the points of the opposition bench, summarize, after which I shall conclude. The motion before us today is, this House believes that educational institutions should implement strict measures to prevent the use of artificial intelligence by students. We strongly stand by the motion, and then this is not a proposal to ban technology outright, but a necessary call for policies to safeguard the very essence of education. Moving on to the definition of my key terms, educational institution. According to UNESCO, educational institution is defined as a formal learning center such as schools, colleges, and universities whose primary mandate is to deliver structured education. Artificial intelligence. The US National Institute of Standards and Technology defines AI as a machine-based system capable of generating text, solving problems, and making decisions in ways that mimic human intelligence. Prevent. Oxford Dictionary defines prevent as stopping something from happening, and strict measures here is Cambridge Dictionary defines strict measures as strongly limiting someone's freedom to behave as they wish through tough enforceable policies. Mr. Speaker, moving on to setting the perimeter of my debate. In this debate, when we say educational institutions should implement strict measures to prevent the use of AI, we are limiting the discussion to students' academic work, like essays, exams, etc. So the perimeter is therefore students' academic integrity. Moving on to my first point, which is preservation of core skills and cognitive development. Honorable Speaker, education is not merely about earning grades, it's about the process of acquiring skills. And if we allow AI to perform all these cognitive tasks, if we allow AI to perform all these cognitive tasks for the student, it is undoubted that this is going to actually affect their intellectual development. Their critical thinking, their analytical skills, their writing and communication skills will all be affected. A 2024 MIT study found students who use AI to write essays actually score lower grades when it comes to independent critical reasoning. And these students are the same people who will end up graduating with sophisticated knowledge, not prepared for the real world. All this is revolved around the fact that we are creating a generation of graduates with competent certificates that are all based on the knowledge generated by a machine. Moving on to my second point, which is protection of academic integrity and authenticity. Mr. Speaker, respected judges, it will interest you to know that generative AI, such as ChatGPT, can produce essays, solve problems, and codes, allowing students to submit work they did not create. A 2023 Stanford survey shows 17% of students admitted to using AI without citing sources. Nature 2023 also reported that AI-generated content is over 30% of some university submission. This questions our grades, damages the credibility of our degrees, and most importantly, discourages the honest students. To ensure fairness, institutes like Sciences PO in France have already banned ChatGPT since January 2023. Moving on to my third point, which is risk of
POI,
misinformation
POI.
and bias. POI, yes, accepted.
What is the difference between using AI to solve assignment and using textbook to solve assignment? All of them are learning tools.
Yes, but in using a textbook, you have to be the one to critically analyze what you are going to answer. But for AI, it is automatically going to generate everything for you. So the student will not even do anything at all. Moving on to my third point, which is risks of misinformation and bias. AI does what is called hallucination most of the time, and this is backed by evidence. It's not my own saying. According to Harvard Gazette 2023, AI frequently fabricates facts, invents sources, produces false citations in over 20% of test queries in certain academic contexts. Strict measures such as banning AI use in graded assessment requires oral defense to verify knowledge and punish false citation as academic fraud. Mr. Speaker, moving on to my pre-rebuttals, the opposition may argue AI is just another tool we should embrace like a calculator. But I will tell you that a calculator is totally different from AI. Calculator helps in solving the problem, but the student is the one who needs to understand it before they can be able to solve it. For AI, it automatically generates the entire work and the student doesn't have to do anything. And this is why we cannot just adapt, but we need to implement strict measures to ensure that learning is real. The opposition may argue AI cannot be detected, so strict measures are pointless. But our plan isn't just about detection, it's about redesigning assessments like oral exams and supervised tests to make AI use ineffective. To the summary of my debate, Mr. Speaker, I came before the House, tabled the motion at hand, defined the key terms found in the motion, set a perimeter, gave my own solid points, which were 1, preservation of core skills and cognitive development, 2, protection of academic integrity and authenticity, 3, risks of misinformation and bias. I also anticipated the points that might be brought forward by the opposition leader, which were that they might argue that AI is just another tool and that we should embrace it like calculators are embraced. The opposition might also argue that AI cannot be reliably detected, so strict measures are unenforceable and pointless. To the conclusion of my debate, Honorable Speaker, education is not about shortcuts, it's about effort. To protect the integrity of degrees, the competence of our future workforce, and the foundation of critical thoughts, institutions must ensure qualification reflect genuine student work. Strict measures against AI use are therefore a necessity and not a restriction. Honorable judges, if students only use AI, who knows? They might even start asking AI to propose to their crush only to get rejected with an AI generated breakup letter. I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Prime Minister. Please give us 1 minute or two for us to table the points, and we would get back to you. Thank you.
Everybody loves a story about an underdog,
someone out of the ordinary,
rising from nothing to overthrow a crappy government and change the narrative. Someone who places their country's needs ahead of their own. I'm sorry to tell you, this is not one of those stories. This is a story of a president who tasted power once and grabbed to it tightly, doing anything to remain in power. From rigging elections to executing anyone he suspected of trying to depose him from power. This man went as far as executing young Ghanaians traveling to Europe through the back way because he believed they were a threat to his rule. Jammeh faced multiple coup attempts throughout his time. Many Gambians believe Jammeh will be president forever. But in 2016, All his plans came crashing down when his own soldiers turned against him, and political leaders risking their life to demonstrate for fair elections. To truly understand the event of 2016, we need to travel way back to 1994. In 1994, the political landscape of the Gambia underwent a significant changes as President Sadauda Kairaba Jawara was successfully overthrown. The members of the coup plotters have a meeting about who will be chosen as the temporary head of state. Yaya Jammeh emerged as the chosen leader. The citizens were left wondering the nation's future. Jammeh addressed the nation via live television, declaring that
This is a coup with change. The country would be returned to civilian rule as soon as we have set things right.
Unsurprisingly, Jammeh stands by his word. Jammeh initiated investigations into the previous government, revealing ministerial embezzlement. During the process, he placed some ministers under house arrest.
Has to remember that Jawara has been here for 30 years. For 30 years, he has been a special friend of the British authorities. He spends most of his time in Britain playing golf at the expense of the Gambian state. He has assets in Britain, and our investigations into corruption have shown that most of the money stolen from the Gambian coffers are deposited in British banks.
Thank you so very much,
setting up of
Fatface. We are done. Okay. Yeah. So sorry for the noise. If you are set, the house is ready to hear from the opposition leader.
Am I audible, please? Okay. Using AI to argue against AI. How convenient. You are trying to prove our points while trying to deny it. Ferrari versus bicycle. Honorable Speaker, today we stand firmly against the motion. The proposition frames AI as a threat that must be strictly prevented. We on the opposition bench believe that artificial intelligence is just a tool, much like calculators, the internet, and even textbooks once were. Rather banning AI and policing it, institutions should teach students how to use AI responsibly, ethically, and productively. Honorable Speaker, in my capacity as the opposition leader of this honorable house, allow me to give the structure of my debate. First, I will start by reminding the house of the motion, widening the perimeter that was set by the Prime Minister, debunking the baseless and misleading claims given by the government bench, present my own succinct points back with statistics, summarize, then I shall conclude. Speaker, following the structure of my debate, I will start by reminding the house of the motion, which state, this house believes that educational institutions should implement strict measures to prevent the use of artificial intelligence by students, which we, the opposition bench, write strongly against the proposition score. To the widening of the perimeter of my debate, let me widen the perimeter of today's debate because the proposition seems to be wandering everywhere about the motion. Honorable Speaker, this motion is not about whether AI has risks. We all agree it does. It's about whether schools should slam the doors on AI completely with strict prevention. That means flexibility, no responsible use, just bans and punishments. The real question is, do we want graduates who can compete with an AI-driven wall or one stuck in the past while the rest of the wall codes rocket? Speaker, this will now take me to the debunking of the baseless point that was given by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister made mention of protecting academic integrity. Speaker, you don't protect integrity by locking students. Students misusing the AI, it's not the fault of the AI. We are giving AI to use it like responsibly, ethically. So we cannot blame AI by making students lazy or whatever. We should blame students. So to make students use AI ethically, the educational institute should teach students how to do it, not to restrict it or ban it. She made mention of misinformation and misinformation as well. AI doesn't create misinformation. It just makes visible. It just makes visible. The real risk is rising students who can tell fact from fake because we ban the very tools they needed to learn. So if AI makes students lazy, so calculator and Google did, but we adapted to it. Tools don't make you lazy. Bad teaching does. If laziness was a tool, half of us wouldn't know how to use Google today. And I don't see anyone banning Google in this world. So a strict ban doesn't stop cheating. They just push the underground. Students will find works around with VPNs and private devices. So you cannot build integrity by forcing dishonesty. So AI is shaping research, accessibility, even job markets. And strict prevention doesn't just handicap students in school; it handicaps them for life. So that's why this house is opposing the ban of AI in the educational institution. Speaker, this will now take me to my own points. My first point is AI is already part of the landscape. Ignoring it doesn't make it disappear. Let's be real. Pretending AI isn't here. It's like closing your eyes during the storm and saying it's sunny. So, according to this Statista 2023, global AI market is projected to reach 407 billion dollars by 2027, showing it's not just a trend but a global takeover. Furthermore, according to the World Economic Forum 2023, AI will add $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030, making it the biggest driver of productivity since the Industrial Revolution. Speaker, preventing AI use in education is like banning books in the age of printing press. The world will not wait for the Gambia to catch up. To my second point, restricting AI stunts educational innovation and equity. The Gambia is part of the ECOWAS Digital Transformation Agenda 2023 to 2030, which emphasizes integrating AI into the national development. Education is central to this. If Oxford and MIT, the top global universities, are embracing AI, who are we to insist on prohibition in the Gambia instead of teaching responsible use because they believe in integration? Furthermore, for disadvantaged students like rural, low-income, non-native speakers, those with disabilities, AI tool can provide access, flexibility, assistance. So UNESCO suggested AI can help inclusive, equity, linguistic, and cultural diversity if managed well. I repeat, if managed well. So you cannot blame AI for making students lazy or giving them misinformation. So to my third point, global competitiveness. The world is moving forward with AI. Okay.
Okay, so I would like you to tell this house, how do you prevent AI misuse in exams and assignments without strict institutional measures? Can you tell us?
The AI students don't only use. Look, cheating was here before AI was before AI comes to this world. So you cannot blame AI. You cannot blame AI for students using it to cheat. So cheating was here before AI comes. Students were using textbooks to cheat. Students were using cheat papers to cheat. So stop blaming AI for that. That doesn't catch what. The world is speaker going forward. The world is moving with AI. In 2024, in the African Union launch its continental strategy on AI education to ensure Africans are not left behind. So if Gambian school restrict AI, we isolate our youth from opportunities. Employers in ICT, telecoms, and finance increasingly accept AI literacy. If Gambian school we are isolating our youth from opportunities and employers in ICT. So according to the 2023 McKinsey report, AI skills could boost Africa's GDP by up to $1.2 trillion by 2030. Why should Gambian students be locked out of this? Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Thank you so much, opposition leader, for that. Please give us 1 or 2 minutes to accumulate the points, and we will get back to you.
Crude Oil Commission has sparked up this reaction. We understand the reasons why. We want to make sure that by the time we leave, there are concrete structures that will let Gambians know their rights as Gambians, rights that cannot be denied by anybody who comes after us. And for 30 years, there has been no development. The government did not build a single hospital. The government did not build even a single school, be it primary or much more high school. The roads are terrible. You have seen them.
What? Our grandparents stealing public funds? I guess it runs in the blood.
The check was not withdrawn. Why? Because I later understand there is no fund. There is no fund in the account. Fund in the account? Yes, by then. But you would have known. Yes, no, you would have known that there was no fund in the account before you sent in a check.
Just few months into his role as a temporary president, a coup attempt struck against Jammeh. These were not actually coup attacks. They actually manipulated the news and make it seem like it is a coup attack. In reality, these were just suspects. Jammeh don't take risks. If you are a suspect or his soldiers heard rumors, they execute, period. They were arrested and
they were tied.
Hands behind their back.
Hands behind the back.
And then what happened? They dropped down?
And then they dropped down, taken to for a distance in front of us. We and the council members, I was part of them. Council members with their orderly, we line up and facing them.
Were the captured soldiers facing you, or did they have their backs to you?
They are giving us their back.
And they were grouped together, or they were standing in a line?
It's like a form of an extended line. Sana Sabal said, say your last prayers.
What happened after that? After the conversation, say your last prayers.
Sana gave order of fire.
And what happened?
And we fire on them.
Once bloodshed in the smiling coast, they began to get comfortable with violence, quoting directly from one of the soldiers.
The best form of defense is by attacking.
Because the major donor of foreign aid to the Gambia suspended their AIDS program, except the country has returned to civil rule, and Jammeh is getting comfortable in his position. But he made a promise to the Gambians.
This is a coup with change. The country would be returned to civilian rule as soon as we have set things right.
Jammeh started to think about running for an elections. Jammeh realized young Gambians loved him. They were fed up with the old government, which ruled for 30 years but has no impact in the nation. Because young people loved him, he lowered the voting age from 21 to 18, which he did legally, allowing votes to be made on it. 70% of the votes agreed. Jammeh was still not comfortable about winning the national election. I mean, Jammeh is young, and his whole career is at stake. In order to stand for president, he needed to retire. And if he loses the...
Thank you so very much, guys. That marks the end of the first round of the day's debate. So if the House is set, we are ready to hear from the Deputy Prime Minister.
Am I visible and audible, please? Okay. Educating the heart without educating the mind is not education. Honorable Speaker, in my capacity as the Deputy Prime Minister, allow me to give the structure of my debate. First, I will start by tabling the motion to the House, and then I'm going to debunk the baseless claims or points that were put forward by the opposition bench. Then I'm going to strengthen the points of the Prime Minister. I'm going to give my own points backed by facts and statistics. I'm also going to give an alternative. I'm going to summarize. I will hopefully accept POI. Then I shall conclude. Honorable Speaker, it really baffles me, like hearing the arguments of the opposition leader. Like, I'm really baffled because these claims are totally baseless. First, the opposition leader claimed that the world is moving with AI. That is just like AI is the future. Yeah. So the opposition leader is ignorant of the fact that strict measures is not equals to permanent ban. My prime minister mentioned it earlier before before she started. that we are not against anti-technology. We are not anti-technology. What we are saying that institutions can teach responsible AI through dedicated courses, while restricting its use in graded courses to protect credibility. The official leader also mentioned about disadvantaged students can use AI. That's true, but that is not actually true. If we go deep to it, we know that AI, they have premium subscriptions, and only wealthier students who can afford it can pay the subscription. Like the subscription here is 2,000 rupees per month. Can you imagine paying 2,000 rupees per month? So your arguments. So, honorable speaker, the arguments from the opposition collapse under scrutiny, and it's not their arguments is based on assumptions, not evidence. So, therefore, their points cannot stand against our facts, the facts that we have presented. Honorable speaker, moving on uh, to strengthen the points of the opposition leader, moving on to strengthen the points of my prime minister, my honorable prime minister. My prime minister mentioned about preservation of core skills and cognitive development. Honorable speaker, as my prime minister rightly says, education is not about grades. It's about training the mind. It's about building critical thinking, problem solving, and also communication skills. So if we let AI to do all the hard work, is going to if we let AI to do if students let AI to do the hard work, then they are going to skip the very process that develop these abilities that I mentioned. So the second point was mentioned was protection of academic integrity and authenticity. Honorable Speaker, uncontrolled use of AI lets them to submit the works that they do not do. So this is a direct threat to academic integrity. So according to an article published by the Guardian in June 2023, investigators alone. We don't talk about the globe. This is UK alone. So this is very, very clear. So this shows that AI is a real threat and to academic integrity, and it's not a hypothetical threat. So moving on to the third point, risks of misinformation and bias. So the opposition leader came here. He just wants us to forget about all the misinformation that AI can do. So just to forget about that. No, don't worry, don't worry. But to be true, generative AI fabricates facts. We know that, and also it creates fake references and reflects biases. So, for example, let's take an example of DeepSeek. Researchers in Stanford University found out that DeepSeek, it gave different political answers to the same question, different answers to the same political question. For example, when we ask DeepSeek, is Xi Jinping criticize Xi Jinping? So DeepSeek will refuse and it will say it's a sensitive topic, and it is a sensitive topic while it is criticizing other global leaders. Sorry. So moving on to my own points, honorable speaker. My first point is
POI.
widening inequality among students. Okay, you can come.
Which global leader has AI criticized?
Which global leader has AI criticized? Adama Barrow, for instance, when I put Adama Barrow, is Adama Barrow a good leader? AI criticized. But when I put Xi Jinping, like the example that I mentioned, you are ignorant of the fact that I just
Evidence.
mentioned that example. I just mentioned that example. So shut up. When your time is to speak, you can speak. Okay, so my first point is widening inequality among students. So access to advanced AI tool is not equal, honorable speaker. And we know this, like wealthier students can afford premium subscriptions that give them an unfair advantage. So the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, in its 2024 report, which is titled The Potential Impact of Artificial Intelligence and on equity and inclusion in education. This report found out that wealthier students from wealthier homes, they are twice as likely to use paid AI services as compared to those from low income services. So, honorable speaker, our argument is very clear as the government bench. So we are going to put strict measures to maintain a level playing field so that the grades reflect on ability, not access to advanced, expensive technology. So my second point is threat to assessment standards and accreditation. So unchecked AI by students, unchecked use of AI by students, it renders the academic assessment meaningless. So if you cannot verify the work of a student, then the grades, the degrees and certificate issued by an institution become worthless. They lose their credibility and value. And this is a directed to the accreditation of the institutions, and that's why they need to take action like Australian universities, as it is reported by Times Higher Education in 2023. They took some strict measures that they were able to put strict measures to prevent the use of AI. So, Honorable Speaker, our argument is clear. Strict measures protect the credibility of our degrees. Strict measures protect the credibility of our degrees and also ensures graduates meet professional standards. So, moving on to my alternative, Honorable Speaker, our solution is to establish national standards for ethical use of AI and also to create secure educational platform. So to the summary of my debate, I came before this house, gave reminded the motion of the house, reminded this house of the motion, sorry, and I also debunked the basis point put forward by the opposition bench. I strengthened the point of my opposition leader. I gave my solid points which were widening inequality among students, threat to assessment standards and accreditation. I gave an alternative which was very good, summarize and I hereby conclude. Honorable Speaker, this debate is not about the fear of change. We are not anti-technology. We are very, very clear. It's not about fear of change, but it's about safeguarding the true purpose of education. So, by supporting this motion, we protect critical thinking and preserve academic integrity. I urge this House to stand for the motion and to stand for academic integrity. Thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister. Again, please was 1 minute or two for us to accumulate the points and get back to you.
The next government will not want him near them. Jammeh knew he needed to add the odds of winning the elections. What did he do? Ban some of the opposition parties. Jammeh stuck to his promise by becoming a civilian. He retired from the army as a captain a month before the presidential elections. It was Sunday, September 29, 1996. Gambia voted for Jammeh, who won with 56% of the votes, beating Unutabo and Sidi Ajah.
Why shouldn't we go out? If we have to die, let us also die.
Jammeh started out with impressive momentum. In just a couple of years as a president, he constructed 2 new high schools, 5 new middle schools, a large rural hospital, several rural clinics, and the country's first television station. Gambians admired him.
Obviously, the mantra of the military junta at the time was transparency, probity, and tranquility. So this was something that resonated with everybody.
Fighting corruption, fighting nepotism, fighting Africa's disintegration.
During the 2 years of Jammeh, the first year, we are part of the guys who are really supporting him at the time because we wanted change.
Fast forward a couple years later, the year 2001, and it was time for another presidential elections. Gambians still believed they had hit the jackpot, thinking they had the best damn president in Africa. Jammeh secured the victory with 53%, and Usainu Dabo came close in the race. They promptly informed President Jammeh, who immediately flew back to the country. Upon his return, he ordered his junglers to eliminate the passive threat.
And Suleiman Sambo was driving the vehicle.
And Durcham? Durcham in the tema.
Durcham, we sat him in the middle. He asked me. He asked me, where are we going to? I said to him, I do not even know. Myself, I don't know where we are going to. So when we took a bend and headed towards Brikama, Captain Modu Jaju
ay nylon bus hamira nani bulandi ñokono.
He brought out 4 plastic bags.
Adi Malik Mangala.
He gave them to Malik Manga. We were the ones behind, and he said to us, finish him. Mali put the plastic bag over the head of Ndur Cham.
Thank you so much, Fatfai.
What was happening to Ndur Cham's hands?
All right, thank you so very much. If the House is set, we are ready to hear from the last speaker, that is the Deputy Opposition Leader. Deputy Opposition Leader, are you here?
Can I confirm my audibility and my visibility?
Please go ahead.
All right. So I think there is no need to sort your opponent when they already surrendered. Honorable Speaker, able adjudicators and members of this House, greeting to you all. Today we stand firmly against this motion that this House believes that educational institutions should implement strict measures to prevent the use of artificial intelligence by students. So while concerned about misuse of AI are valid, implementing strict measures to prevent its use entirely is not only unrealistic, but it also attracts a lot of drawback along with it. So, Honorable Speaker, before proceeding, allow me to outline a rundown of my debate. First, I will remind this House the motion because the government seems to get lost with the motion, which I have already done. They have not understand that this motion is a policy debate. And if you are given a policy motion, you must give ways of implementing that policy. Next, I will debunk the so-called points of the Deputy Prime Minister. Then I will stand to the points given earlier by the opposition leader. I will afterwards give my side points back by evidence. Then I will propose alternatives. Then I shall take POI in the 5th minute, after which I shall summarize and conclude. So, beginning by debunking the flimsy points that were given by the government bench, they made mention that the AI weakens critical thinking, which is totally ironical and opposite to the reality. AI doesn't have brain to think. You have something to think. You think of something you want to do, and AI helps you achieve that. For example, a group of students at the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology in China developed a Chinese name entity recognition NER code, which within 1 semester, with the help of AI, they started from ideation, research, data set collection, modeling, training, evaluation, all done by the students. So the project was published as an as-if paper detailing the full development journey and demonstrating how students can use AI tools to tackle real-world processing tasks. This was from as-if 2503 submitted on 29th of March 2025. So we learn from here that AI doesn't think. It doesn't have its brain to think for students. What does it do? Student thinks and it helps them actualize their idea. So next, they make mention that it creates unfair academic advantage. My response to this wouldn't go far because I don't know where they were when my honorable opposition leader was giving them how AI makes it academic advantage, or how does it give equal advantage to all students. Honorable Speaker, using this baseline argument to prevent the use of AI students is like saying we should ban books because all students cannot afford it, or we should not use laptop in school because not everybody can afford it. He also made mention that AI information is unreliable. Honorable Speaker, we are not saying that students should rely on AI totally. What we are countering is the prevention of the usage of AI. This problem is not brought by AI force, because even books that we are using at school, they carry misinformation. So this is a teaching opportunity. Students should be trained on how to evaluate AI output, just like they are taught to cross-check research sources. And in fact, that information you are claiming to be misleading may depend on how you interpret it, because the word knowledge is evolving. What was right yesterday may be wrong today. For example, come on, video. Come up.
You said AI. You said AI does not think for students. Then why does it produce an entire essay or research papers instead of supporting students? Why does it do that?
AI doesn't think. Thinking is for the brain. Human beings are the one that have brain. AI is getting source that were inputted by human beings that are there, that are the one that are controlling. So if you don't understand the function of AI, go and search the function of AI. That is. So you also when you talk about this misinformation thing, even let's say for example in Geno school, we were taught that Pluto was a planet. Now research have shown that Pluto is not a planet. This is development of knowledge. So if you give an information, or if you get an information from AI, you cannot just conclude that this information is misleading. Now moving on to strengthening my opposition leader's point. See, made mention that AI is really part of the educational landscape. So there is no means of preventing. You prevent something that is yet to happen, but something that is already there, how can you prevent that? So AI isn't a field concern, it is already here. Students use it daily. Example, in 2023 survey by Times Higher Education found that over 60% of students they admitted using AI for academic help even in institutions with AI bars. Like in January 2023, the prestigious Paris-based science for university banned use of ChatGPT and other AI tools. But the reality is, even after this ban, students admitted using AI for essays and assignment. So instead of control would only be waste of time and resources. There, he also made mention that restricting AI stunts innovation and educational equity. AI isn't just about convenience, it is about access. For students with learning disabilities, AI provides reading assistance. For those from undersourced schools, AI acts as a personal tutor. And for students struggling with language, AI translates and simplifies complex concepts. Like, for example, in rural India, students are improving math performance from 62.5% to 78.3% using AI tutoring apps. This is not because their teachers were bad, but because AI supplements what they lack. This is revealed by ResearchGate in June 2024. Now, moving on to my main points. AI is a tool, not a threat. Just like spell checkers or the internet, AI can assist learning. It helps students brainstorm, understand concepts, and explore creatively. They take, for example, the Comfort Science project in West Africa as an example. Students across 32 countries use this AI assistant for real science questions during an 8-month pilot. It answered thousands of queries with 87.2% accuracy. This information is going from ASIF 2302 reboot on April 26, 2024. To my second point, AI is becoming a core industry skill and banning AI creates a skill gap. AI is already part of the today's workforce, like data analysis, research, writing, coding, whatever you must be using AI there. So AI literacy is not optional anymore. It is becoming essential in fields like software development, marketing, finance, medicine, even in education stuff. Now, to my alternatives, honorable speaker, students are not the enemy and AI is not the villain. The real issue is how it is being used. Rather than posing a preference to its usage, we should teach digital literacy, ethical use, and critical engagement with AI tools, which the opposition, which the Deputy Prime Minister have already agreed with us. So now to summarize my debate, I came before this house, remind the house of the motion, reboot the baseless point, strengthen the points of the opposition leader, give my own point back by evidence of an alternative. So to conclude, when guided properly, AI can support critical thinking by offering ideas, not replacing them. Teachers can structure assignments to acquire analysis beyond AI capabilities. So we don't protect students by telling them not to use the tool. We protect them by telling them how to use the tool properly. Thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you so very much, Deputy Opposition Leader, and that marks the end of this round of debate. So the Mr. Mamadou Bite will take up from here. He'll be the one to give the feedback and also give out the final scores. Thank you. Please give us a moment to tabulate the scores, and Mamadou Bite will get back to you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Adjudicator. So next on the agenda now, we are going to open the platform for the general attendees. So whoever is having something to add on to the topic, yeah, Modu Luis and Basini, I can see you guys and Mr. Bao, you are in a row. So I'll give chance to Mr. Bao to first give an insight. Mr. Bao, you're welcome. at this point, it's like Mr. Bao's mind is overloaded with ideas. So we are going to give chance to Mr. Seni Boja because like we have lost Mr. Bao for now. Mr. Boja, you may come, please.
Yes, they're trying to overcome me today. My bosses, Modi Luis and Borough Haftan Bubulu. Anyway, interesting topic, and I think this is one of my favorite topic since the debate have started. Um, uh, First of all, I would like to greet everyone, members of the University of the Gambia Debate Association, GAMIN members, and the debaters. They did justice to their topic. Okay, coming to the topic in hand, I think I will stanley against the motion that education institutions should implement strict measures to prevent the use of artificial intelligence by students. Let's be honest, AI is not a threat. You understand? It is a tool, and that tool, and a tool that is already shaping the world we are living in. To prevent students from using AI, will be like preventing them from using calculators decade ago or computers. You understand? You cannot prepare students for the futures by keeping them in the past. I will take a real life example from my own experience at the time I was working with an audit firm, a co-chartered certified accountant. um, I saw the reality very clearly. We had piles of files to vouch and sort, and even though at the time we were using advanced Excel, the process was still uh, painfully slow, I will say, because you have to sit for hours every day to vouch and sort those things. Let's say auditing big companies like QCell, where they have about almost 2,000 staff, and their operations are too much. Companies like OBT and MSC, these are very, very big companies to handle. So, but I have seen with AI integrated with Excel, even though at the time I was not that much acquainted with it, but I have seen my bosses, the work that we can do in a month or in 3 weeks, he was doing it in just 2 or 3 days. And you know, so this, and in fact, his work was more efficient and with fewer errors because we are human beings, we can make errors because some of the entries we have to do them manually. But this guy was just sorting everything with AI integrated with Excel integrated with AI, and he was having few errors, and he was in fact becoming more faster than we are doing. Beyond the workplace, AI has, let me say, has higher potential for education in the Gambia. Imagine students in the rural area where access to quality teacher is limited because teachers don't want to go to provinces. You send them there, they run. But with AI driving learning platforms, they can receive personalized tutoring, explanation in simplest language that you can see, and instant feedback. AI can also help UTG carry out research, data analysis, digital record management much more faster and much more accurately than before. You know, it can bridge the gap in resources, improve quality in teaching, and even support government effort in modernizing our educational system. I think we need to move forward with the system. What I always tell people, using AI doesn't mean you are stupid or you are lazy or you are this or you are that. I have seen students who are telling me, I hate using AI, I don't want to use AI, you don't have to do this. Or even if at all, sometimes like dispatch, some people will just text me and or text you and tell you that all your this is AI. But yes, it's AI. But who have directed the AI? Who asked him to do this way and this way and this way? You have to know how to use AI. That is the main fact. But to prevent people from using AI, I think I am totally against that. Let's say, for instance, India here, if at all they said you are not going to use AI, some of us will pack our bags and go home because the kind of note that they give us, even if you read, you will not understand. Indian English is very difficult to understand. You know, they will take quote one book here, quote another book here, quote another book here, compile everything. So if you don't sit and integrate or prepare your note very, very, very well, bro, you're gonna be totally in a mess. So I think AI, they should really, really teach students how to use AI, and rather than discouraging people on how to use it. For me, mom and AI, until I'm done in education, but AI is my best first teacher and ever teacher in this world. I thank you.
Mr. Boja, you have taken all our time. But yeah, thank you for that wonderful addition. So before giving the floor to Mr. Bao again, I just have this thing to say. Like I'm going to refer back to my time in, during primary school and junior school as well. So what often happens during that time, like for example, if you are reading SES or agriculture, the teacher will just give you a portion of it, and they allow you to go back home to do critical and deep thinking. But now it's like whatever they give us past 3 p.m., they should know that it is going to be generated by a supercomputer, that is AI at home. So I think we just need to flip the coin now. Instead of now allowing people to do the critical thinking back home, give us the assignment, let us go back home, let us use AI the way we want. Let us bring. So from there, when the students come back to the class, now what you are going to do, filter the information for them in such a way that the most important one that is in line with what you are trying to teach them, give that to them. And the ones that it contradicts what you are actually trying to teach your student, then you just modify it in such a way that it is going to be in line with what you are teaching. I'm not saying this will eradicate AI because like I don't go the way the world is moving, we are moving towards AI and others. So if you want to deviate from AI, you are going to fall behind. So like, but people need to be wise with the way they use AI. Like we need to teach students because the funny thing is like you have a Tonitin. This is actually a software that detects whether a student use AI or not. Now you are telling a student not to use AI, but you are using AI generated content to actually detect AI. So who is fooling who at this point? So I think the context should be like now allow the students to go back, let them use AI with whatever they want, bring forward whatever they have. Now, whenever they are in the class, that is when the issue of critical thinking, the deep knowledge and everything should happen. So we should just flip the coins now. We are not living in 1900 now. Bro, it's 2025 and we are soon going to enter 2026. So Mr. Bao, you might come in here. Thank you very much, Miss Bao. So among our Miss, we have Miss Jakomba. Miss Jakomba, you are welcome to give your insight. Jakomba, are you with us?
Sorry. Am I audible to everyone?
Okay, if you can take at least 1 minute, at least to give an insight. You are audible, Miss Jakomba Jabi. You can come.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I've had a lot of things about AI today. Actually, my field is AI. I'm an AI scientist, and I specialize in robotization and biotechnology related stuff. So you look at the whole concept of banning AI in educational sectors, it's like you're removing the flavor out of what people actually need to study in the first place. And then AI should not be seen as something that, is here to take over, but we should see it as a tool that we depend on, a tool that makes learning easier, and a tool that makes life easier in the nutshell. So banning it in institutions like the Gama University is not going to add anything, or is not going to reduce anything to the Gama University in the first place. And if we say that, okay, we're not going to rely on AI, basically you sum up everything from prompt engineering to computer science. Every aspect of life is dependent upon this. We see the artificial intelligence part, but AI is beyond that. AI is way broad when it comes to that. So the whole concept of banning it from school and students not relying, it is your responsibility as a student to not use AI to the point that you think the AI is smarter than you. Yeah, AI is faster, but AI is never going to take the role of what human beings can do. It's there to make things easier for you. So you as a student, you should have the responsibility behind your mind that, okay, whatever I'm asking AI to do, I should understand it. AI is there to make it easier and not to fully be dependent upon it. If you are really dependent upon it to the point that you feel like you have zero skills and whatever skills you have is from AI, well, then that's your own fault. That have nothing to do with AI. AI is making a lot of things possible, not only in the field of education, in the field of medicine, in the field of pharmacology. You go to biomedical engineering, you go to biotechnology, you go to the studies of MRI, diagnosis, and the likes. AI is doing wonders. So it is not just there to give it stuffs to generate. Okay, AI generated essays or AI generated stuffs. No, AI is beyond that. It's you give one or two emails to AI to generate an essay for you, is not the actual role of AI. So if you want to ban a whole faculty, a whole institution of AI studies or AI systems because students are using it to generate copies of assignments or whatsoever, and you're not thinking of the value that's been added by artificial intelligence and the fact that our generation is different from other generations. Why? Because we have this value added inputs in the first place. And AI is not just this generation. You look at the studies of algorithms, it goes way back in the 50s. So it's like we are taking everything that existed before and we are customizing it. We have prompt learning now that is making life easier for a lot of students, like some of you are talking about. So you are telling me just because you're seeing the disadvantage of it, everything you see on this planet have advantages and disadvantages. You look at the bad side of AI and you're telling people, okay, we should ban the whole faculty, and you are not looking at the problems that AI is solving in this world. Well, then the AI is not being biased. You are the one who is being biased. So it's a matter of understanding it as a tool and not to fully rely upon it 100%, but to rely upon your brains and then to understand that this is here to make life easier for me. It's not smarter than me, it's just quicker. And we as human beings, if we can know, if we can understand, AI can know, AI can develop on its own, and AI is here as a tool to help us solve things that we think we're slow at solving, but not to take over. So the whole concept of banning it and not banning it is not going to raise the standards of the Gambia University. You look at big institutions in the world, they're using AI. In fact, AI is now 10% of the content that is being shared in all these big institutions out there. Why? Because they've seen the value added advantages of AI. So people might not understand it, but we, the ones that are studying it, we know the limitations and we know the controls of it. So knowing the control of something and then the limitation doesn't mean you have to ban the entire thing just because you don't agree with it. I think we need to look at that.
But Mustafa, Assalamu alaikum. I want to suggest that by 1 minute by because many people are raising their hands and later judges you pare. So do that
Yeah,
by
sure,
now.
sure, sure. Sorry for that. I've actually lost my number. So, Mr. Wise Jam, you can come in, please.
Yes, Mustafa, am I audible?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, for me, I think I will also join the people that are saying that AI is important and then we should not ban it. Yes, the thing is, you yourself you should know how to command AI. That's the bottom line. You should know how to command AI. So if you know how to command AI, then you are good to go. See, like all of us, we are intelligent, but see, I can have same question with you, and then at the end of the day, my input might be greater or might be more wonderful than yours, just because maybe you commanded the AI wrongly. So that is it. So AI is good, and then AI is here to stay. Recently, I think I've seen a video online. The guy was congratulating AI during his graduation ceremony. So that is ChatGPT. So that's very good. So and then, wow, as you said, ah, I will also congratulate AI Day. So that's it. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cham. We can invite Mr. Abubakar Drame. You can come in, please. Abubakar Drame, are you with us?
Is it Drame or Ba? Which one?
It's like we have lost Drame, but you can come in, please.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we will have to do justice to the topic itself. Because like the thing is restriction is to be done on students, let's say maybe when doing the or maybe when learning. Like nowadays we can say like people are not not doing more effort to make more research. We have to understand also uh, when you come to this now called reading, we all understand the more you read, the more you research more books, the more you have the knowledge. But nowadays you can just sit with one tool, you can have everything what you want. Though it's important, it saves time, you understand. But also venturing into other aspects also give you more knowledge. It expands your knowledge when it comes to research. So there is banning it is might not be the solution, but at least put in some restriction for students so the student can still have time. Student can still use a lot of time to improve themselves when it comes to reading, when it comes to how to make research. Nowadays, to be honest, you will see a graduate who cannot even know how to do citation or who at the same time. Sani, you are speaking here for almost 3 minutes. Okay, let me give time for others. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ba. VP, Mr. Modu Luis, you can come in, please.
30 minutes. 30 minutes for Luis, please. 30 minutes. 30 seconds,
Yeah,
please.
Assalamu alaikum once again. Yeah, so for me, where I will start with is the main purpose of AI or how AI is. AI is just a machine. It's not like, for example, you just ask a question and AI can smartly answer all those questions. It's a machine. It was trained to do that. Information was provided for it to do that. There are tons of information that we are provided so that AI can give you those responses. So those responses are stored in a database or somewhere so that AI can take reference from those things and give you answers. It's a machine. It is trained. And the example I'll give is, you want us to go back to the world like when we were learning in high school, when you have to buy Akiola maths, Akiola further maths, Akiola biology. 77700. How many Akiola will you buy? And there now AI, if you search about Akiola, AI will tell you about Akiola. If you need information from Akiola, AI will tell you that information from the Akiola. The other thing is past papers. Last time I remember during my high school, you have to go all the way to Banjul work office to buy past papers. Right now, if you search the last question, the last biology question, 2024, AI will provide it for you. So these are, this makes it easy. These are things students should focus about, not about writing essays or other things. Let's look at the benefits, how AI can benefit you, how it can save you from buying Akiola 700, how it can save you from going all the way to Banjul to buy past papers. I guess that those are the things we should focus on, rather than if it is cheating, students were cheating before AI came. So yeah, I'll not say much because I guess people have something to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lewis, for that. I know all of you have so many insights to give, but it's like our able educators are actually ready and the results are in. So I'll just open the floor for Mr. Momodu Pite to give us the feedbacks.
Okay, thank you very much, honorable moderator. It's afternoon here. I don't know what time it is. I am sorry. I always have to repeat this. It's because I want to greet in the most convenient way, but unfortunately, I am always not able to. Again, excited to be here. I'll be giving. It's night time. Okay, it's evening. I would be giving individual feedbacks. So, but before then, I would want us to look at the motion properly because even yesterday we encountered similar issues of what's being undervalued in the arguments, and when that happens, it may affect your entire argument. So the motion reads: This House believes that educational institutions should implement strict measures to prevent the use of AI by students. So I would interpret the motion when I am giving individual feedbacks to respective individuals. So the Prime Minister did a very good job with the definition of the key terms, with setting a perimeter, which I would want to underline and I will come back to, with the points that she gave. They were very, very good. And I particularly think she did a good job with all of these things. The perimeter, most especially. When the Prime Minister gave the perimeter, she mentioned strictly that they are going to, their argument as a bench is strictly going to focus on student academic work. And this implied their assignments, their thesis. This was made very, very clear, right? And it stood out from her down to the last speaker, and it was not challenged, which is quite surprising because you would expect, especially if you have points outside of the brackets that are already established by the Prime Minister, you want to open that bracket so you can penetrate the points. But if you leave them closed and you have points or you're targeting points outside of the bracket, they may not necessarily be very strong. So put a finger to the perimeter that was set. You had time to pre-report, which was very good. The only problem that I had with the Prime Minister is, I'm not saying the perimeter was excellent. I'm saying it was set, it was not challenged. So it's, as far as this debate is concerned, it is excellent. I always think it can be tighter, but my opinions do not matter. It's not my debate. The only problem that I have with the Prime Minister is, I'm sorry, I always have problems, is the definition of how you're going to go about the implementation of this. How are you going to place strict measures to make sure that students don't use this? It was not clear. It did not come out clear. So as Prime Minister, you have a responsibility to do a lot of things, and sometimes missing some things could affect you. So when you're debating, especially on policy motions, make it very, very clear. Don't even say, I said it when I was explaining this point, or I said it when I was giving this. Don't leave a room for such questions to be asked. Make sure that the how is well defined, and then you get onto your points. If you do that, you would be narrowing the debate, and you'll be making life very difficult for whosoever it would be coming after you, especially those that are against the points that you will be bringing. But the how was not clearly defined. But other than that, I think it was good. The opposition leader, you had a very, very good start. The points are very, very relevant. The problems are you focus so much on ban. Whenever you say something, towards the end, you would say banning AI would affect us in so and so and so way. The motion does not necessarily imply that we are banning AI. Strict measure it should be underlined and boldening because it's very, very significant as far as this motion is concerned. When you said it, I wrote ban and put question mark, and then I had to scratch it and listen again, and you mentioned it again. So it's not necessarily banned, because what she even said that we're only going to focus on one aspect. What we do with the other aspect, she did not mention. So don't focus on banning. Focus on the measures that she said they were going to bring about. They were going to bring to make sure that students don't use this. But you constantly kept on using ban towards to the end of every point that was mentioned, or every rebuttal that was made. So banning is not part of the motion. So don't lay so much emphasis on it. And you over debated as well. You debated for above 7 minutes, 15 seconds, which is bad. When you do that, you get penalized for the timing, and you don't get time to do your summary as well. So the summary was not there because you over debated. So next time, just try to manage your time so you're able to give a summary. You get the marks for the time, and you also get marks for giving a summary. But the points were very, very good and very hard hitting. What again I would advise you, when you're debating and a perimeter is set, if the perimeter is favorable, please do not waste your time addressing it. You can ignore it. But if it is not favorable to your arguments, like she mentioned that they're going to focus on student academic work, and you had a point that talks about AI being part of the landscape, right? The global landscape. That is very relevant, but it's outside of the bracket that was already set. So when you face in such situations, you want to leave the motion as wide as possible by challenging the perimeter that was set, and then you can bring in your points. But if you do not challenge the perimeter that is set, then you'll be leaving gaps to your points. But like I said, the points were very good and they were well explained. The problems you need to work on is challenging the perimeters. Make sure you manage your time really well, and make sure you give a summary, right? Because it's very important. 3 marks can be very significant in a competition. But that is everything with you. The Deputy Prime Minister, I think the rebuttals, you could have done better with your rebuttals. I think the strengthening was very, very good. I think the explanation of your points is very, very good as well. The problem now is the alternative that you give. You're proposing this, so we don't expect that you would bring an alternative. Let's contextualize it. You're saying that you're going to put strict measures to ensure that students don't use AI. That is what you're going to do. And now you're bringing an alternative. What you should do is back to the Prime Minister, tell us how you're going to, and what you explained by putting national standards, that is the how. And that was expected to be brought forward by the Prime Minister and not necessarily you. That is the primary responsibility because you're starting. So you give us a very good base. But under no circumstances, in such motions, you know that the alternative should not fall under you. Giving alternative may be part of your responsibilities, but as far as this motion is concerned, it's not yours. You are not expected to bring any alternative because you're proposing so and so and so, as far as the motion is concerned. The deputy opposition leader, on the other hand, I think gave the best rebuttals as far as today's debate is concerned. The rebuttals were very good. The rebuttals of the Prime Minister specifically were very good. I cannot say the same about the Deputy Prime Minister because I know every point that was mentioned by the Prime Minister was challenged. The Deputy Prime Minister, however, not really. The strengthening was very good. Your points were very good as well. But again, the same. I'll just refer you to what I said about the opposition leader. A perimeter was already set. Try addressing that perimeter even before you bring forward your points. That should have been done by the Prime Minister, but should, in case the Prime Minister does not do it, and I won't believe that you're not in the same place, that may affect the communications and all of that. But always try to attack it before you bring forward your point, especially if they fall outside of the bracket that is set. The alternative, it is your responsibility to give an alternative. And fortunately for you, you're the last speaker, and my opinion with that is it's good that you give an alternative, and it's comprehensive, right? So I believe that is everything. But I just want to say that it was a very, very good. It was tightly contested. Very, very good debate. Just that some little protocols were not observed. But by no means was that even an average debate. It was way, way good. And I want to say that the points go ahead. Just said. All right. I want to say that the scores were really tight. they were very, very tight. We have a margin of 0.5. A particular judge has a margin of 0.5, and the other has one less than. Well, I wouldn't know about that, but I want to give the final results, which I would not usually like to do. Yes, exactly. Go ahead. You said that. So I announce the final results. The government, or the best speaker, we start with the best speaker. The best speaker for this evening. I do not know you by names, or I am not very good at pronouncing the states. So I'll just mention the responsibility or the role of the person. So the best speaker for this evening is the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister is best speaker. So this time around, we have 3 adjudicators, but all at after we compiled everything, almost everybody had the same. We had first position the same person, second position the same person, third, fourth the same person. So there was no need for us to add and divide. We're using one score sheet. So the government bench scored a total point of. The government bench scored 76 points. 76 points to the government bench. And the opposition bench scored a total of 69.5. 69.5 for the opposition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. BT. So for now, I would like to invite the secretarial department to give the closing remark.
May I confirm my audibility, please?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the debaters, to all the people present here, also not neglecting the efforts of the education team. We have actually come to the end of this debate, and to be honest, it was very, very absolutely engaging. Although it was thought-provoking as well, but it was very engaging. Both of the sides here really presented strong arguments, and they've talked about how there are risks of probably unchecked AIs in education. I think what we can all make up from this is that AI is just no longer a concept. It's present in our reality today. It's present in our classrooms, in our workplaces, in our societies as well. So, of all the points that were brought forward at the end of the debate as well, we had this back and forth among the members, mostly going in for the motion, or mostly going, is it for the motion or against the motion? Mostly in support of AI not being under strict measures. And then we've seen their reasons as well. At the end of the day, I believe each and every person here must have learned a thing or two from this debate. And even if you were in support of AI being put under strict measures, you might have been convinced otherwise. So we thank the education team once again for yet another unbiased judgment. And then to the debaters, we want to say a very big thank you for having the courage to come forward, to bring up your voice, even though debating is not easy. You're not being in a physical debate, but having to come up here and then turn on your screen, seeing people comments, the likes here and there, it takes some mental stability. And we thank you all for having the courage to do that. With this, on behalf of the Secretarial Department and the Ninth Executive Council, we would declare this session closed. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jiba. So, Embedo Fujam, good night. Bye.